So far we discussed the verse 3 and we are on the verse 4. So in the verse 3, we learned that tat-kiñjalkaṁ. So are you seeing my slides now, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yes.
So tat-kiñjalkaṁ. So it mentioned in the verse 3 that the lotus petals are the associates, eternal associates, or the abodes of gopīs, and Kṛṣṇa is performing pastimes in these vanas with gopīs, and it's tat-patrāṇi śriyām. So the tat-patrāṇi, so the lotus leaves are compared to the gardens or abodes where for the Radharani is living, and Kṛṣṇa is eternally associating with her. Now, in this verse, we are describing the surrounding place of this Golok or the lotus, where this is a quadrangular place, the innermost quadrangle, if you see, it is called śvetadvīpā or white island. And these four sides are the abodes of the four first quadruple expansion of Kṛṣṇa, that is Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. So these are the Dhāma in Śvetadvīpā. These Dhāma of all these four personalities, Vasudeva, Sankarshan, on the four sides, if you see, all these personalities are there. And this is further enveloped by the fourfold human requirements or the four puruṣārthas, such as piety, wealth, passion and liberation, or dharma, artha, kama, moksha, on four sides. So if you see the one I'm showing arrow is dharma, then on the bottom is artha, on the left side is kama, and on the top is moksha. So this is envelope. And these four puruṣārthas can be attained by study of the Vedas, and these four Vedas are also enveloping this. So below this, these four Vedas are covering this. And these four Vedas in personified form are eternally glorifying Lord and his pastimes. Further, there are 10 tridents. So on the four directions, the tridents are shown here, but there are on 10 directions. This whole Śvetadvīpā and Golok Dham is protected by the three tridents on 10 directions. And these 10 tridents are in the form of Trishula or three miseries. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions about threefold miseries, or they bewilder the people who are trying to attain this but who are not eligible by threefold miseries or three divisions of time or three illusory potencies or of the Lord. And also the 8 directions are decorated with 8 jewels, and the names of the jewels we read in the translation. These 8 directions are decorated with 8 transcendental jewels. At the same time, in addition to the 10 tridents, the 10 directions are also protected by dik-pālais on 10 directions. So these dik-pālais are in the form of transcendental mantras that is mentioned in the verse here. And the associates on all the sides are are also there in the different colors. So they are Shama, Gaura, Rakta and Shukla, or blue, yellow, red and white. So this is the description of the whole planet given here. So by seeing this image, it is easier for us, and I was glad actually I found this image, so I was able to present this. But this whole Goloka map is there, somebody created. This is very beautiful there. Now in the Goloka, if we go in the middle, where Kṛṣṇa is performing his eternal pastime with the gopīs and Radharani, this is the seat of transcendental love and devotion. And in this place, Goloka, there is Kṛṣṇa, everything is eternally existing there, like the Govardhan hill or Yamuna or Radhakunda and all these, Manasi Ganga, everything is eternally existing and always ready to serve Kṛṣṇa in his pastimes. Like we read in Gopal Champu that Govardhan always welcomes Kṛṣṇa to perform his pastimes, and like he, with the places to seat him, he offers him thorn, throne to sit, or with the fruits that are on Govardhan hill in the trees, he is offering him bhoga, or with the birds which are chirping there, he's welcoming him with beautiful sweet sounds and everything. So this, and Yamuna, as it is mentioned in the same book, that Yamuna stands still when Kṛṣṇa is playing his flute. So all these are eternally happening there. But the same place is unknowable and inaccessible to many people. And in the purport, it is written that whom it is inaccessible, those who are on the path of dhyana yoga or meditation, or even jnana yoga or empiric knowledge, or even ashtanga yogis who are trying to attain ashtasiddhis, or less intelligent people who are trying to enjoy the fruits of their action by their karma, they are always covered by the 7 coverings in this material universes. And even the devotees who are not pure in their love for Kṛṣṇa and who are looking for liberation, they get fascinated by the charms of Vaikuntha which are surrounding this place, and they get attracted by that, and they also cannot attain this place. So it is even inaccessible to them also. And around this, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentions that in the śvetadvīpā, around this, if you see Gaur Lila on there, on the outer petals there, the concluding portions of the pastimes of Gokula exist eternally as pastimes of Navadvipa. So Gaur Lila is also present there as pastimes of Navadvipa. So Navadvipa, Braja, and the realm of Goloka are one and the same, and they are indivisible entity. They are the same thing. So there are some further descriptions about what are the destinations of non-devotees. So who are not devoted, where do they go? So he mentions that persons who are trying to attain, enjoy the materially by karmic reactions, by enjoy the fruits of their actions, they go up and down only in the 3 planetary systems, that is Bhu, Bhuva, Swa. Beyond those are the jnana yogis or the siddhis who are looking for higher purpose of life. They are engaged. So brahmacharis or great austerities who are performing tapas or ascetics, they move up and down within the higher planetary systems, Maha, Jana, Tapa, and Satya. Above those are the world that lies, above that is the 4-headed Brahma's abode, and above that is the Vaikuntha planet or Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, who is lying on the ocean milk. Above that is the Brahma Jyotir, or beyond the Viraja river, where Paramahamsa sannyasis and the demons killed by Sri Hari or by Kṛṣṇa, they get liberation and they merge into that Brahman and they get attain nirvana. So these are the different destinations of non-devotees mentioned here. So I think we are about time, and I see a hand raised here. So I'll stop here and we'll continue in the next remaining purport in the next week. So we'll take some questions or reflections here. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Jai Shri
And
Radhika.
Pranam.
So, Prabhuji, I have, I think, 2 questions. First question is about the verse translation mentioning about śvetadvīpā of the spiritual world, but it also talks about. Can you go to that verse translation, Prabhu?
Yes. Yes, Mataji. This one?
Yes, Prabhu. So in this, it talks about dharma, artha, kama, moksha, right? It says that these 4 divisions, the Śvetadvīpā has 4 parts, and these 4 divided abodes are enveloped by the 4-fold human requirements such as piety, wealth, passion, and liberation, and also by the 4 Vedas which deal with the mantra, and which are the basis of achievements of the 4-fold mundane requirements. I didn't understand this part. Why these things which are connected to the material realm are mentioned here?
So these are the original seeds of the 4 puruṣārthas and 4 Vedas, which are source. That's what is coming to the material world, Mataji. That's what my understanding is. So these are the seeds. So as we read in the Bhagavad Gita, right? urdhva mula madashakam. So this material world is nothing but reflection of the spiritual world. So the original of all these, the seeds are all these in the spiritual world.
Yeah, but the language used is that the abodes are enveloped by the fourfold human requirements. That means these are inside these four human, the four puruṣārthas.
Correct. So let's go to the purport. In the purport, he mentions here.
Yeah, here the pastimes of the four propagating manifestations are all there in their proper places. The Paravyoma Vaikunta has got its extension from the display of the four propagating manifestations.
Yeah.
Salvation as of Vaikunta and piety, wealth, and passion pertaining to worldly people are in the proper places in Gokula as their original seed, that is the primary cause.
Yep.
The Vedas are also engaged in singing the song of the Lord of Gokula. It's difficult to understand, like they are present in the form of seed in the spiritual world. It is mentioned, and we know that none of these four can actually lead to bhakti, which is the path to the spiritual world.
Correct.
It's difficult to understand. Could you explain, Prabhu?
I will try my best. So my understanding is this original seed, when it says original seed, so everything, even in the material world, even the teachings and everything are coming from the spiritual world. So these are the original seeds, the proper place. That is another, these are in their proper places. So that's where they origin, and that's how they are propagated into the material world. So in the reflections. So that is the origin. That's what my understanding is. So they are not.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I have another question. I just kind of forgot. I'll try to remind, but there's one more person waiting for that.
Yeah, I think Shweta Mataji has her hand raised.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this wonderful presentation. I have a similar question on the śvetadvīpā. So you mentioned, I'm very confused about this. So you mentioned there is one in spiritual world. What we're talking about is right now in the spiritual world, and there's one more in the Dhruva Loka. I don't remember about that. So I also remember that there is one in the ocean of milk where Kshirodakashai Vishnu is lying on the ocean, and
Correct.
Any issues come up from the material world, Brahmaji, if he can't resolve, he goes to that, right? So are we talking about three different kinds of śvetadvīpā here?
No, that one you mentioned, that is Brahmaji, when all the devatas and the Brahmaji, everybody goes to the śvetadvīpā. That is the material.
Yeah.
That is in the material world, and this is different. So two of them.
Okay, and what about the one in Dhruva Loka you mentioned? I had not.
So that is Dhruva Loka or śvetadvīpā. That's the same thing I mentioned. Yeah, that's in the material world.
Okay.
That's one and the same.
Fine. Okay. And second question I have is, Prabhu, in the diagram you just showed, right, about in the first diagram in the presentation.
In the slides.
Can you go back on the slides? Yeah.
Okay.
So here, go back to the first one, the first slide. Yeah, here I see there is Mathura, Dwarka, all of these. Ayodhya also. Ayodhya is outside. So all of these are, like you mentioned, it's a reflection of the spiritual world, what we have here, right? But why is Ayodhya and all of these outside?
So in Gokula or Goloka, this Dhama, which is covered by the śvetadvīpā, so these are descriptions, and we will further read this in the Brahma-saṁhitā. These descriptions are given. So outside this, as I'm reading this, I'm seeing this picture. I may have to check this, and we will come back to this as we go further in Brahma-saṁhitā. But this Mathura, Jagannath Puri, and Dwarka are outside this śvetadvīpā. And then there is description about Ayodhya, and then also Mahesh Dham, Devi Dham, and other places, which we will continue. So this is only the top portion of this map. Below this, below Ayodhya, there are other further, as it continues to go. to the second quadruple, and then further it goes to the material universes beyond the Viraja
Okay.
river in Karana ocean.
So to me, to understand it better, I think Mathura, Dwarka is all where Krishna was born, and Ayodhya is all the incarnations were born. So is that how I can understand? And that's why it's outside this Śvetadvīpā?
Okay. Dwarka, Mathura, Puri are Krishna's, where the personality of Krishna, he himself resides in different forms or different moods, and it is also given in the further verses who can attain or what form of devotee can attain which dhama. Not everybody can attain to Goloka Vrindavan or even to Mathura. In which mood? So the modes of service to the Lord are different in these different dhamas. And they are all, Mathura, Jagannath, Puri and Dwarka are all Krishna. But Ayodhya is outside because it is incarnation of Krishna, and that is in the form of Lord Ramchandra.
Okay.
It is not Krishna.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Thanks, Prabhuji.
And again, I am just trying to understand myself and trying to explain it to you. So if anybody, Shankaran Prabhu or Rajivan Prabhu, if you have any additional comments, please chime in.
So I think you appropriately mentioned that. What is the only difference is the Śvetadvīpā, the inner lotus is actually Madhya-dham as well as Audhari-dham, but outside of that is actually Aishwarya-dham, where the Lord is worshipped with Aishwarya. So even though Krishna is there in Dwarka, but there Krishna is worshipped with Aishwarya.
And what is the inner dham, Prabhu, you mentioned? I couldn't catch that. The Śvetadvīpā, the inner part?
Madhurya-dham.
Madhurya.
The devotees, Madhurya and
Madhurya.
Madhurya.
Okay.
Prabhu, I have another question, but I would wait for Gokula Tarani Mataji's question she has placed in the chat. And then after that, I'll ask.
Okay, let me go to the chat. What are the 7 material coverings? So 7 material coverings we read from Bhagavatam. What are those? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. And is that mind and false ego, Prabhu? 6 and 7? If I am remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So earth,
Is
water.
that mind intelligence?
I have to confirm that, Prabhu, but the 5 elements and each one of the next of each is 10 times bigger than the previous one. That's how it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Those are the 7 coverings, material coverings, which cover the whole universe.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Actually, you mentioned this when you were saying about some people cannot access to this place.
So yes, the karmis who are looking for the material, who wants to enjoy their fruit, they cannot go beyond the 7 coverings. Yeah, the less intelligent by 7 coverings, they are covered by the 7 coverings. So different kinds of people are protected to go there. For them, it is inaccessible by different reasons. And the karmis, the third item here, less intelligent who are karmis, they are covered by the 7 coverings.
How earth, water, all those things become coverings, Prabhuji?
Because they are in the material universe, and the material universe is covered by these 7 coverings, Mataji.
Like they have to pierce the coverings.
By chanting Hare Krishna.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I hope that helps, but this is like a prison house, as it is mentioned in the Vedic literature, this material creation. And it is, first it is bound by the material coverings of those 7 layers, in which is this universe enveloped with this Brahmanda, or the egg-shaped universe, the covering of which is these 7 layers. And inside this, there are the 14 planetary systems. So the materialistic people cannot even go beyond that. But the other people, they can get liberation, like the demons killed by Kṛṣṇa, they can attain liberation, they can go to Brahma Jyoti. Or the transcendentalists who are aspiring for liberation, they can go get liberation and they can merge into the Brahma Jyoti. So that is outside this covering. So they can attain a little bit more. But all of these people who are mentioned here, for them, this most confidential abode of Kṛṣṇa, Gokula, is unknowable, inaccessible, and unattainable. So that's what is mentioned in the purport. So I just put those in the bullet format, but these are the, just everything from the purport.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the beautiful description. Thank you, Kṛṣṇa.
Thank you. We'll take last question from Sudevi Mataji and we'll stop it. We are already over time.
Yeah, when you were mentioning about the destinations, Prabhu, can you go to that slide?
And there is more to come. We'll continue this, Mataji. There is, I haven't covered complete yet.
Oh, okay. So there is mention of people who enjoy materially by the fruits of action. That means those who are in the mode of passion, probably. So they are going to move up and down between these three planetary systems.
Correct.
Bhu, Bhuva, and Swa.
Yeah.
And there are lower planetary systems also, right, Prabhu? Nothing is mentioned like who goes there. Because there may be non-devotees who might be going to the lower planetary system also. Below the Bhuloka, there are lower planetary systems. So nothing is mentioned about that.
So it is not mentioned in the purport, but it is all mentioned about who are trying to attain higher goal, who can go where. So lower planetary systems, if I understand correctly, are for the impious people who are engaged in sinful activities. So that's why there was no need to mention about them, because they are going to get down anyway.
Okay, so even the point number 1 is talking about those people who might have done some amount of piety, and to enjoy the results of that, they will go out to the upper planetary systems, and when the results are depleted, then they will come back to the Bhuloka to again do their karma.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu.
So
and
the
people who go to the lower planetary systems are the people who have to suffer for their sinful things, or they still move between these three planets only, or like who are the ones who go to the lower planetary systems? So
they come back to the earthly planet when their sinful activities are over, and by the the cycle of evolution. Urdhvam gacchanti satvastha madhye tishthanti rajasa jaganna guna vrittistha adho gacchanti tamasa. That's what Kṛṣṇa says in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, right? So adho gacchanti, so whoever goes downward, they have to wait for their turn to come again to the Bhu, Bhuva, Swa, or the earthly planet system, again to go back and on. But again, we don't have to worry too much about this. This is information given. I think our goal is to learn more about how we can get the highest knowledge that Prabhupada has given us and Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has given us. That's how I see it.
Yes, Prabhu. Sorry, is somebody talking? Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that who are the species or who are the living beings who go to the lower planetary systems? Are they people who suffer for their sins for the lower planetary systems, or those are not the people, though they go to the Patala Loka, but these are the ones who... I just wanted to understand that. If you could clarify from other areas of Bhagavatam, which you might have come to know.
Canto Bhagavatam, I think 27th chapter gives the description of the hellish planets, and in which all the activities in which you engage, which hellish planet you go to, that is also given vividly.
Yes, Prabhu, but nothing about these 7 lower planetary systems.
These 7 lower planetary systems are actually called as, what is that called? Bilaswarga. So they are like very opulent, and people who are vikarmis, who don't want to follow even the Vedic literature for attaining their so dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We saw that, right? So people following dharma earn wealth, and then using that wealth which they have earned using following dharma, they enjoy kama, so they go to Swargaloka and eventually moksha. But people who just want to enjoy and earn wealth without following the principles of dharma also, then they are going to abominable planets where they think that they are enjoying, but they are actually covered more in darkness by these opulent planets, which are also called as Bilasuraga.
Can I make some clarification?
Yes, please, Prabhu. I was going to
yes. So actually, the lower planetary systems, when you're talking about Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Mahatal, Patal, these are called Bilaswarga, and these planetary systems are not for the people who do not follow dharma. Those who don't follow dharma, they go to hellish planets. They don't go to lower planetary systems.
Okay.
So the only difference between the people who go to lower planetary system and upper planetary system is upper planetary system, they're all Vaishnavas. Okay, but lower planetary system, they are all asuras. That means they oppose Vishnu, but they may worship some demigods. You know, so they follow dharma. Without following dharma, nobody can be opulent.
Okay.
You know, they follow scriptures, but they worship some demigods. Like, you know, Mayadana, who lives in the lower planetary system. He's a great devotee of Lord Shiva. Okay. And he follows dharma. Because without following Vedas, nobody can become powerful or opulent. You know, without following Vedas, they will only go to hellish planetary systems. You know, so even the living entity in the lower planetary system, the only difference is they are asuras. You know, that means that they oppose Vishnu. They don't like to follow Vishnu. They may worship some demigod, but they follow dharma. So anyone who's powerful is only by their following the dint of Vedas. Then only person can become powerful and opulent. Otherwise, there is no scope.
Thank you so much for clarifying, Prabhu.
So Prabhu, these people who are demoniac, that means they oppose Vishnu, or but they worship some demigods for their desires or something. Because of their enviousness to Vishnu, they are placed in this lower planetary system.
Generally, yes, Madhavi. Like, you know, we have Sutala planet where Bali Maharaj lives. He's a Vaishnava. Not necessarily that he's a, you know, opposing Lord Vishnu. You know, but most of his followers are demons, so they don't like to follow Vishnu. You know, they are mostly opposing Vishnu. So Bali Maharaj is placed there. But that doesn't mean that everyone who is living lower planet system has to be demon. There will be also some devotees there, but most of the people there are generally demons. Nagas, you know, Nagas, they don't like to, they are afraid of Vishnu because Garuda is always their enemy, right? So they also live in the lower planetary systems only. But Nagas are very opulent, very beautiful also, and very powerful also, much more powerful than human beings on the earthly planets.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And I see question, but I think we are way out of time.
Sure, Prabhu, yeah.
Prabhuji, I don't know if you want to quickly reply to Shweta Mataji's question in the chat, and then we can stop.
Sure.
Yes, that's a very simple question, I think. So my question, I think I've always had this question about the solar system. Is the Earth, like all the 9 planets we have, do they all belong to the Bhuloka, or each of them are, like, how is it related to the Bhu, Bhuvar, Swaha, like all these 14 planets that you talk about?
Okay. So when we talk about Bhu, Bhu, or Swa, it's only referring to 3 planetary systems. It's not referring to all the 14 planetary systems.
Yeah.
It's only talking about Bhuloka and the 2 planetary systems that are above Bhuloka.
Yeah.
They are called Bhuvar and Suvarloka.
Mm-hmm.
So these are called 3 planetary systems.
So my question is, Prabhu, since we are on Earth, and can I consider Earth as Bhuloka, or the whole solar system itself as a Bhuloka?
Rather than Bhu, please.
My understanding is, Prabhu, this Bhuloka, they cover different planetary systems between these three. But please kindly add to that.
Madi, so the Earth is only one insignificant part of Bhuloka. There are also other regions which are not accessible to us. But when you see sun, moon, they are not the part of Bhuloka. They are all upper planetary systems. They are part of Swargaloka. So moon is actually part of Swargaloka. Sun is also part of Swargaloka.
Okay.
And Bhuvarloka is something that is between Bhuloka and Swargaloka. So that is Antariksha, that is called actually Bhuvarloka.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Again, Jai Prabhu. Thank you very much, Radha.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.